Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka Abiri. I'm here to address the Enugu State 222 Smart School project and the abandoned project Saga that has been at the forefront of national discourse and social media discourse about a contractor that was given 22 units out of the 222 units that the Enugu State government is doing to execute at a cost of 11 billion, and then got advance payment of 5 billion, and then did some work and abandoned the project based on the narration. Now, just like everything in Nigeria, everybody have taken sides. Some people have even injected ethnicity into it, and all manner of Ghaghaghaness. What has happened, and this development again brings to fore the nature of Ghaghaghaness, the nature of ignorance, the depth of ignorance in the land. Firstly, I want to address some fundamental issues. A contractor was awarded a contract to do 22 smart schools. He got an advance payment guarantee bid bond from Jaiz Bank. And when the funds were being advanced, it was advanced to Zenith Bank. And the whole story was, he intended to defraud the state. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. We all know in Nigeria that no commissioner, nobody can advance a sum of 1 billion naira without the governor himself sign off on it. The governor is not an illiterate. The governor was a former commissioner of finance. The governor is an experienced businessman. And there's no way a big bond will have been signed and an APG will have been issued by Jaiz and somebody transferred money to Zenith Bank without the governor, without the commissioner for finance, without the academy of the state knowing about it. So the question is, if funds were moved from state treasury into a bank that was not supposed to receive the bank, how come the commissioner for finance of Enugu State and the accountant general, nobody had been fired, nobody had been sacked for such oversight? You see, we need to stop deceiving us. When this issue of smart schools came up, 222, some of us are deeply knowledgeable and experienced enough to know, you can fact check me, to build a decent average smart school with all the infrastructure, all the supportive facilities in it, takes average of about $750,000 to $1.5 million anywhere around the world. Fact check me. So when they come up with this bogus narrative, we want to build smart schools, 222. The first thing I did was to do an off-the-cuff calculation. To build an average basic smart school takes between $750,000, which is about 1.14 billion, to $1.5 million, which is about 2.3 billion. So for Enugu State government to have come up with that idea, they want to build 222 smart schools. I know, and we know, any knowledgeable person knows that it will take an average of about 230 billion to 510 billion to do that. How much was Enugu's 2023, 2024, 2025 budget? And where in Enugu State did they budget such amount of money for such smart school projects? And how did they even intend to fund it? In Nigeria, and I've said it here, and I will bear repeating it again, most of our governors, most of our political appointees will always want to embark on brick and mortar projects. Brick and mortar projects, road construction, bridge construction, building of brand new things, always afford them opportunity to play games with their private sector fronts and contractors. And when it goes south, they will come up with a lot of cock and bull story, cooked up stories. And of course, the average Nigerian, because bereft of understanding and knowledge, driven by ignorance, will take sides without questioning and asking questions. You disbursed 5.6 billion into an account that did not give you any bid bond. And that funds were disbursed for almost about 7 to 8 months to 1 year. Nobody raised an eyebrow. Nobody queried it. Nobody questioned it. Does it mean that for a government that wanted to embark upon such project, there was no project management consultant engaged to project management each leg of the project to ensure that funds disbursed and the work done matches fund disbursed? Do they think that we are fools? Now they've come up, they've involved instances of the state, the story going that, the contractor took the money, he didn't do everything, he ran away, as if those from the public sector. We know what happened. It's a relationship gone sour. Was it not the same contractor that we heard, oh, state government is given 30,000 hectares of land to do rice in Enugu state and all manner of other things? You want to build the highest building in Nigeria, it's only in Enugu. For what purpose? You know, when we talk about this, some of us, when Peter became governor of Anambra state, what did he do to build up the education sector in Anambra state? He didn't go building new classroom blocks to enable him inflate contracts and cream out things, as most governors and local government chairmen are doing. Basically, what he did was to study and understand what is the basic problem. First of all, beyond the brick and mortar, there was the issue of qualitative and support facilities. They were not there. The first thing he did was, we know and we understand clearly that some of the best schools in Nigeria are mission schools. From Mary Sutru to Loyola Jesuits to CKC, most of the best schools in Nigeria are Catholic, Anglican, Methodist, and the Pentecostal owned schools. If you talk about tertiary institutions, from Covenant to Hallmark to Babcock to Bowen, some of the best schools in Nigeria, because those missionaries do not compromise quality in terms of the caliber of people that teach in their schools. They do not also compromise putting in place the right supporting facilities to help their schools to be the best. So what Peter did was very simple. Hand over the schools to the missions. Funded them directly. Rebuild some dilapidated old classroom blocks. Help them to gather some of the facilities like science labs, computers and everything. 30,000, everything was built up transparently, without breaking bank, without all this kind of controversy that we are seeing today in Enugu state. And in less than 8 years, Anambra went from number 28 to number 1 in the education excellence ranking in Nigeria. Today, public schools in Anambra state, from Regina Pessis to CKC, to go or travel all the way to the Silicon Valley in the US to participate in STEM competitions, and they come out tops, beating the best in the whole world because of the quality of what they did. Peter did not do, I'll go awarding new contracts to do new schools when the old schools have not been attended to. And we know what these guys do. That is why they will award contract to build a house for a vice president that was not homeless for 21 billion. That is how they want to spend 39 billion to refurbish a building that was built with 400 million. This is Nigeria. That is how they want to award contract to repair a bridge they spent hundreds of billions to repair last 2 years, to repair it with 3.6 trillion. When we know scientifically that 2 trillion will build brand new fourth mainland bridge, bigger than the current 11.8 kilometer third mainland bridge. They do all manner of Ghaghaghaness. They do all this kind of gamemanship. When the relationship goes south, they will start deceiving us with stories. They will pay social media miscreants and artists to be, all the focus are on the man who allegedly abandoned the contract. Nobody has bothered to ask about who transferred money that was meant for Jaiz Bank to Zenith Bank. How come nobody had been fired? How come the Commissioner for Finance, the Kantanjara, and all those who have not been fired? You think we are fools? Keep on fooling yourselves. The truth is, we know that most of this, they do all these things, they hire propagandists, they go on the press, they do most of these things because they know that a majority of us are ignorant, we don't ask the right questions. Nothing wrong with smart schools. But for you to build 222 smart schools, it will cost you nothing less than 230 to 520 billion naira. And that is the truth. You can fact check this. I am an investment banker. I'm a project manager. I understand clearly to build a smart school, putting in place the right infrastructure in place. The other day, Bishop Oyedepo spent almost 5 billion naira to equip laboratories in Covenant University. We know what it takes to build a smart school. But all these things they are doing here, they are deceiving us. Oh, they cook it up. Oh, the guy ran away with the money. Blah, 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 blah. We know what happened. His relationship gone south. But of course, we will prosecute the guy on the press. We will not ask the right questions. And everybody will clap. God have mercy on us.